abantu bakizo ndibyo tunda wamazaawo dda. Tuna video zoko enaku zino ne comments ziberamu. Dio tunda wamazaawo dda. Omanye dedda. Da. Ekikumazisiza wamangu number 1 kubanga oli munnafuusi. Number 2 omutima goggo natural leto yajayinza gukyusa kabere jibuliru kubanga yeka tunaba tobya gutonda. Bwe gutobe guli natural. Ate nakuzino gukusinga amanyi mu kulowooza omutima gwe nakuzino gukusinga amanyi mu kulowooza. Daso tugenda kubeera mu ebyo. Nze nabagamba time honorable Asadaman Makebe teri agambayo bwekiri oba nfuna Shafiki media agamba atya ebeno baba biruma nekisekera bimunyiza wache bazuja Sadamani Makebe bichi biba bimunyiza buli enafu na siporo bimunyiza yarekerawo okuloza logically kati aloza emotionally atanga emotions zize ziva mu mutima omuvundo omuchafu byafuma biba bivundu nga bichafu kati yagasemo kubandi kata chali revolution kati politician agenda gatendo ozembe omutima omuchafu agatemo kubanga zayogera si kituufu bogato butaba mutuufu nogato omutima omuchafu toligenda kuddamu kufuna legitimacy mbano bantu aiso yaponi tedi atuuliriza mbo atwagala baluza lwa mazima gatuvaamu na bituufu bituvaamu niwe muntu lwose mirundi 10 mirundi 5 nga tokisaga tugede bituufu bya mazima tugenda tusiganga tukyayimiridde ebbanga lyo malango kyayogera kituufu na mazima tedi agenda kulwanisa kuwangule ke watandika kiseko kugera ebichamu nebifu nga si bituufu nga mazima. That's why you tuse kwa yo level waliko wamanyi ngenze kutengirese kuuliriza neka tutogera wamazaawo byotuna tewakyali n'abaguzi tebakyabyagana na bitunulako ne sekana ye cyane ekyo ayi wamazaawo kamutali ngiyo kadi nze nkiddamu nze nategera nti mwe bana Uganda muto lumba kasajja ako mukatya kwa mekaja kola video kanjogerere kanyononyo ne mbantu bwe mwasirike bange dene kuguni negune akono nagune bwe mujosirike tujosirika nga batuse kugwe ngatoli ku mazima mwe sagala mutwe navayo naga Sadamani mumuleke nga Sadamani muchamu Sadamani wako ere nsobi mumukwate mumukwata katandalo wako ere nsobi Sadamani Makebe wabanga takoze ensobi tokkiriza mutwe nakukakanya mulwanyi yenna mbagambe sawa za leero mumpulirize bulungi wenyigira kiseka ne mutamwa esawa za leero gadi mumumanyi tasobola kola video lwaki tulinawo kiseka nyini kimwa maguru nyondo jubende musota wa internet chuchu lukoma nata wetwa yamala mu gadi amanyi nakatuchega ira gadi kuda mukola video lwaki kere yangambe kigambo kimusadamani tugezeko kubanga tulaga abantu bannaye tulwamu nammwe nze naliko musirika yana kibagamba abantu nembuddukamu dizata familia baba mayiweri kwa bichimutu kirigestalinga atembalaga simide wamu nabo kati gonkulo nzija ku bantu onteke mu banga ngene bamanyi siri nabo ngene bamanyi siri nawe bakubirawo ati ya kiseka jeregalo okola kunze honorable Asadaman Makebe na uliyamo obuzito bwa Sadamani Makebe kyemanyi yabuulira tawulira ngo mutazito wanga Sadamani tamufunangako na atagenda bafuna bala bangi kubange wakule numete wakulemu namutabi agamba atya abantu bonna bali credible oyo mama yagala baso neze mumpulize bulungi namutabi ampuliriza bulungi oyo namukulembeze kweni yupi honorable namutabya ono kutoka ko simukulembeze seka soja nganze bwendi ngoma ina wani nze nkoza nali sisi kukiseka yonna tukubye buli kiramu ekiri kunso kuba kubeera ku lujja lwa NUP mpaka kubani kuba leader of opposition tubogeddeko nebo twakola ensobi ku lupo president nabiyingiramu president nayingiramu nsonga za lupo naga banenge mukoze ensobi yabula tumenya manya nero kuba ntwali banja boga ku nsonga za lupo mu ngeri yaffe teyatumenya manya naga mukoze ensobi mutereze nemba ne netonda immediately nga ne tusonyibwe Mr President abwe nalungame omwami Kiseka Umaru yasigala kuba lupo ayagala ko ga ne president na kyamugamba omwami Kiseka Umaru naye mu NUP mulimo omuntu omuyeka tasongo nga muyadda kagalo bayi Umaru Kiseka yaddebwa atanga yasinga nokubwa tukuyaba okutakula tukubya bebi wempe nate wali waine diba mweni yupi Kiseka tamwogerangako ate nakimanyi tamwogerangako ate akimanyi n'amaziga gali kubana gamanyi si mwana omunsi babiri si batano si 10 abimanyi Kiseka abimanyi ne yakola ki hey Allahu akbar kagena bakadde time egena daga ani ali gwe toli sobola kuba Kiseka the great goyina obuzibu bwo buli bumu gozo ina kutegerera nze sina mulugo nyagala tegerera era ndo demoga Kiseka ya kutegerera tewali buzibu time atego govima Kiseka yofe kisimula ize domati simuza ko bigere byatunda ya mazauda nze mbagambye umalu Kiseka wa 223 mudewo mutegereze 223 mutegereze wotegeze Kiseka goyina kati golina kati ne waluli oba bafanagana gwena gokanyina awaga musawo Kiseka the great tunuli Kiseka wa great waluli ne kati buli ya nas funa muka attention Kiseka bayagala mukuba bukubi amusule obate ina attention tera kufanako maze ne beta sose emyaka katinga jijo jiweze Maindi kuita niko nako na beta sose mundu gwasinzo kuangala naye ku internet kuneno bamuyita gadi kubanga ngabacha ne pale zabwe ebitu linga bona basiufu ngota nabagana mbo serikale ono nabadde okufuna yolo do mukaza asoka bali babiri ne gadi bakula bonna ne mwami Kiseka yali akuba gadi ne katimu kenga babuza mu Kiseka mbu gadi ne beta sosi bavuja bato ko baba mukanoli alina mu serikale mukano akola government mukano beta sosi gwe mulaba ne revete vako nakuzino mwachizikira atenga ne byachuka beta sosi gwe laba beta fatu agwa mamanya watu byakalu bamala tubakalu twagwa mamanya beta sosi yazikiza ne gunte yazikiza wachite bazikiza seza bakola government kadi beta sosi gwe mulaba yajane DP sima mu DP liko mu 7 must go DP labika ya mu 7 yajirese mu 7 kenyini beta sosi gwe laba omusajja ine ensonga zonna ng'olaba mutima mubibubi umase kampuliriza nakola akatabo kange bakata akatabo ke nakakola nkawandikako mpola akatabo ka Kiseka mwana kawandika je kali eyo ndikata mu budde bwange obedde ne kawandikako mpola Kiseka volume 1 kagenda bala ka volume 5 ndiku volume 1 ne buli wamunga mazima gachukamu vulnerability ngazichuka ate nsidamu kino Kiseka umalu akayona banka fulumya noba ko chokola chiti no ngamba sada mani make balimba tugenda bugenzi beya nako complete ngawe nagamba nange gatugene beya nako ngawe na olyo beya regala mu Kiseka tugene beya nako natega nte beya ali kuliji nene ane kaduka mu katene katika kuba ne kibuloka katika yogerebe kisiru mbitega nako 3 luvanyuma abo ontegeera Kiseka ngene kogerebe kisiru mbitegera obudde buyiseewo kubanga kankube kibuloka kali kagalo gena beya nako nange yaina mentality mbuli kumndera kuita enti amukanka na amutya wali yofe boy oyina botegerera tabasona kuddamu Kiseka nayogera ensobi nga ze yakoze mu video noto yadda mukoera video no mubwati mwe bantu mmwe mwe muli batitizi nyo mulimba Kiseka takyali valid nga we yali ono aliwo politician abika politician tubaleke balayire ono aliwo balayide tufunia muwanga balayide so baga nakwera kubanga lole twabalonda naye nga tekitugattako nga baganya bakuzize konna nga bene yupi kato mwana bipulichi nga shama fatidi ate yala wate bichamu bananga omuntu olwana Kiseka ekyo kachachone nga kitulina mu mukono bo trending nga Kiseka takuinako mukono banga tachayogedde bananga abafiirawo mbagamba ekyo nakitegera kuva 222 oya ali 222 akatunga bya nenga banange olero njega tumenye record ne TikTok to WhatsApp chiba ndichawanyia dako wandika nchagwanyia dako internet yakuba omame nsanga to the meeting nga bagamba nina kyemvuga wallahi billahi tallahi nga nasibi bwe yabagamba mbakinga abantu mbuchagwanyia dako mukati ani aliko nengamba what ninga leka tantegedde butegezi samudana muna sirika buso ngamba abatantegedde basimugezi bugezi samuddamu mubijjukira nakola video muji abaya bakona emijozi chagwanya dako ingomoze ya jireta wallahi Kiseka ya muruma motherfucker mwana baina plan ya big 3 ono ku internet simugezi gwabale nnyo ani oli mutufu simugezi onagabe to isoma mu Kiseka wallahi gwe zese ku kusoma mu Kiseka mwana nze honorable I'm the biggest thing there is right now I'm telling you gwaja kwa kunepima ku Kiseka konze sepima ku Kiseka kubanga nze ndaba nze ndina rasta Zendira santulia nga bwendi. Olaba tupaganisa kana style ye. Era amuwuliriza bina bya muwulirizako. Abampuliza bina bya mpulirizako. Nze sebo siri ono kugamba mbu sekansi ngo bamusinge Mwekamba gambe soka inofuna stopa ku kimwache. Baba so akola video za revolution nga zili straight asirike. Ye mukasala roza kati munu jitunuze mwani komuledi chao beta sose ono gadi sadamani olishama ono pasi ono gundi. Munu jitunuze mu Museveni kisaka. Tunuze mundu mu Museveni bo tunuze mundu yafa mu Museveni nga tubuza wache tukwatibwa mazi oyo nga nasibye. Mazi oyo agamba wache tukwatibwa tunuze mundu mu Museveni. Lwachi amafuta gafe gagenda chechasu ngomo mwachimbuza ku mafuta gafe ne batatukwata. Lwachi abantu banywa amazi amachafu lwache tukwatibwa. Balwanisa Balwanisa Museveni. That's why inachusa nange mundu yange taka yange ile midumu ebiri muzimanyize tanke zalinga mu wadu wanu muzijukira. Ziba za midumu ebiri bwejiti. Era ebe kuba chuko mundi gumbo eguti. Nga tukubali fe na wa Museveni du kati naguchusa mudumu gumu gulieno ogana gusaguli South Africa bweguti. Ndi anti-clockwise. Ogumu gukuba eno jitwa tukuba. Negumu na gusagala gukuba South Africa. Nkukaka samo seka nkukaka kasaba kulete na chigamba wallahi billahi tallahi. Umoseka kusenga tegera wallahi mukamba gambe. Chiseka umaru wallahi ansinga otegera. Na yata ansinga omutima omubi. Umoseka wakati kubanaga connectinge wano njogere. Toso muko atansobi wallahi teri anza muko atansobi. Ne umoseka kasa connectinge wano ne wano. Toyinza butakwata so mu system zino ba mwana wa myaka ebiri ayogera mazimerera tenga necha ye omutima gwa mufu muchafu ne gukora putingo obongo akatabo kakiseka nakawandika kali ku volume 1 kambako ku sample kaje kali bakaita the corrupted mind in a rotten heart kamaleka katabo na myaka kaba flashing ko flashing zikatini muzachani konchi manyi atena mutegera ntitamvaako nange na jifola part time duty kambalaga katabo kakiseka Kankabalage kali wako kako a corrupted mind by a rotten heart chimala kukolabeko kamala e volume 1 mumuloza ambasagisa benyogera mbimanyi obongo babutufu mumanyi nze gwenyogera ko mumanyi no basinga mutegeera aino obongo buli golden mugezi kasabu connectinga ku mumwa bufunwa bya magezi byokka babu connectinga ku mutima gwa muchafu Biofuna bye byolaba. Lwacho lyansinga views, lwacho na trendinga, lwacho na video vako, lwacho na poster, lwacho na president amogedeko, lwacho na abantu banje bako. Kayate wagera najja kufa bayira naturally blessed. Nga buli wita bagamati asada man. Makebe abagena fabo finze makakasa. Atanga bivu kufa sifa abisindika. Sife. Abantu basima busimi character za fe. Talina magezi chitufu. Mweze kamba gambe nze kenatagera nti muna ino mbandi kubyange ambeerako okumala emyaka eja na salonti nali nakola da ensobi mukimanyi munumbi emyaka mingi wano munumbi emirundi mingi ono ku internet mukimanyi abamukuma wano kwemuli nga mwategera luvanyuma naga Sadamani ali mutofu abamukuma ga Sadamani kulumba Sadamani kubange sesingo mutegera budde buyiseo nebule numbye mulabe bulabi ne muleka bulye nanumbye mulabe bulabi ne muleka n'ensirika mwe temwebuuza lwaki kiseka yekka gwe nagamba ati wano wafiira muloge omudumo gumu ogwali bwe guti kale ogumu guli guti zemba kakasa tugendagane mwami kyalimpa ate nga mwami gundi nkakasa nti abantu tebasisinka ensozi ezisinkana ne abantu bo basisinkana Nemo gwanga na ebo ati omwe gwanga yanize simanyi. Wafuka muyombi. Kagema abantu bafulibwa. They are not villains being made, born villains. Tell your villain, ali born a villain. Tell your villain, ali born a villain. A villain, ye body character mu movie. Villain be baba bakibanda. Tell your mutaza, wabula embere kusinzi okufuka kibanda. Kate I am the villain made by Chiseka himself. I am a villain made by you people. Munumbya mirundi mingi ngansirika ngamba tunulira. Minji 100 times ngansirika busirisi. Naga nice. Sadama nesika ku revolution ya ngeri wano. Sadamani sema oyo fala tukano gamba abantu nze. Ne banange. Ataka sana stuke kubo. Ne akaze nesimbe woko. Mbalage ne bane be musobola kanange mbisobola. Banenge teri kulayira checho queen yenna avuga ekintu teri kulayira kyemba mutambuza kyekituufu kyokka sekajja w'amaziga agende. Bana era tuli kuyoleke luno lunaabala anti bweziba masini twazisitama ku mmota ogwana ogwo gye gwajja omutima omubi esana kuwaba mbuga. Nsaba Allah wakati mu Ramadhani ya mukallibal qulubi thabbit kalba ala tisakka bi khairi. Allah chuso omutima gwa muchuso sa mitima chuso omutima gwa kisekka bil khairi eri obulungi gufuke mulungi. Ya mukallibal qulubi ya mukallibal qalbi thabbit kalbil kisekka ala khaira. Chuso omutima gudde mu bulungi kyekyoka. Yoza levu yange njimayiriza benjogedde byonna bivunanizibwa kunze nkiddamu sivunanizibwa ku magezi go gabitegedde obuzibu bwo mwana omwe muje okunya samiranga busambo mbotatu butegedde wale omwe okulera tembula nokunga katwa mutegedde. I'm not responsible for your understanding. I'm not responsible for your understanding anybody. I'm not apologetic to anyone. Buli kyenjogera kimbunanizibwako nkiddamu bwe mulaba ebikyamu ebyogane musirika gye muli mbugana kola ekikyamu. Kata otwogere ebyemirembe twogere mugamba mutya bakama bange ab'ebitiibwa kansonga muli bulungi kansonga muli bulungi awo ne gunne wenjikendeeza muli bulungi bashi kirungi ne bannange wena ino ku bashi nenzijukira omanyi Museveni atwako bambega abayinza otunoonya bo tutambulirako nesekani atwako bambega abatutambulirako kati bakomuledi nga musanvu awo bo bakomedi abali awambi besimanyi n'amannya gaabwe kuliko ne katabonika yenka bashi kuliko n'abantu abalina ku magezi bagane ne Sadama tumanyiddwa sawe seka yatodde kugoberera mutu kulinnya akagere tiseka ng'amanyi ntwako mangi nze Museveni wo kati tiseka nze Museveni wo wafuna Museveni wo mupya bayi nange nakufula Museveni wange kisekka emundu yange mali yeri enatunudde nobweti. I'm telling you eyo asada man gamanti honorable bachiri yaddako labana bamboozako gye bali bali waggulu mubagambe nti tusigala ku mazima bwekiri all right jantu be wano boy bireke mwesonyi mwena mwesonyi wakasajja sisira we mtu nagenda kukaddamu akogerera ekisiru nkabede kunja nti nkebere mbayo ku masanyalaze gamanti honorable asada man ne boy nga muri mukola guli chonjo boy muri munga gwa manyi nesikaza ko 10%. Ya man omuri munga gwa manyi nyo boy nga byanyiridde oda marimu so mubabuzeeko bwekiri anti boy okubanya tekuliko budde mukimanya ekyo abanja asigala akola ki bwekiri mwana bwekiri kale blood mwana nenga mwebale kubeerayo all right kati gwa bitegede gamanti honorable kayingini asani kale mwana ze kanchite kale mwana muna se noba malake emirembe omayima yoba malake emirembe nganja sama naye tewali buzibu kale blood ndi mukambwe nnyo Tino sigalanga tuli basawo. Nesiri muka ndi musajja alino kalwa ndi muka. Siri mukambwe. Ene gwezi nyuma weze na banungi baba. Tola malisaga nyumba ziliko bantu banje. Nese nyumba soze kwekamu. Ulaba wano maso. Eno wasirifu. Wasirifu. Nego seba kasaja chaboka agamba abantu. Mbuze ndi comfortable. Ngo tuli mu Uganda comfortable ndoza kaloza. Tutambula tutonogenda mu bitala nobe ko no traffic wako gambe mara kati muite walinze nzuno. Ai mwanange. Kama yakora akasaji yako. Ukasome. Guno eno part time yange. Goma chimuka tisawa zino nzenkuwa abantu babiri mbula mu bwange. System ya mu 7 ne Kisekka. Aba kwanza nakitegera ati munange nemba sibiriko abandiko. Ate nekisega ndi siro kubandi sadamani nedda na buli muntu enali kunchuka chukali kuchi kumulamwa. Kabaka muliko kabatemete mkamalemo amanyi kali ngambo na tufuna mu ogena kwa buli komulidi. Gwe mu muko male otusigaze bandi. Tusigaze kugoseba tugambe de precision wo kisiru. Ama mungambe ekisonga bannaye omusajja nga Uganda yamuyitamu. Uganda yamuyitamu yani. Ama mpagundi yange. Gwe ani anyanja samirao. Nena bagama basigadde mu mwentalo za mwe mwampangula. Mwabasigadde mwenna nomvu makatoba wampangula dda. Mwena wanika muri bamanyi. Nayo mutemi wembizi nedda. Newe olaba newe mbasiridde nga nsibye. Yes sir. Uliriza kino. Newe mbasiridde nga nsibye boy tansobola. Nga sina kyendidde. Kanewe mba muddwaliro nno eyamba tansobola. Ino ogole kubere dala. Ujeno wansi. No wansi ba wali wali. Yo. Kale. Akaza kale kola politics omulunyi nga wali evolution. Naye kasa
those that are into this corruption in the scheme, the government should secure the borders and do all of these things. So the government cannot now hang its inability to fight corruption, to secure the border, to ensure accountability on the Nigerian people. They must not be the one to pay for it, because in the last analysis, it has always been the Nigerian people at the receiving end. Now, if we now decide, okay, let us remove subsidy on PMS, the proceed of this subsidy, we have to democratically decide on what to use the proceed for that will benefit the average Nigerian people. The question we're asking the people in government today, we know clearly that this is a class struggle. The more the people at the lower strata are crying that yes, there's hardship, there's all of these things, go and check the books of the big companies. The Zenith Bank, the First Bank, the big guys in Nigeria, go and check their books. They're making more money. So it means it's not a question of lack of resources, it's a question of who controls the resources. So the Nigerian people have always been at the receiving end of all of these things. And what do we see? We see government not showing enough consideration for the Nigerian people. If we remove subsidy and we're saying that yes, we're removing subsidy, this is how we'll spend the proceed, we're going to uplift a particular teaching hospital in each geopolitical zone every year to what standard, what class standard. The Nigerian people will know that at least I'm not getting subsidy on PMS, but if I walk into the hospital, I'll get quality medical attention. If they say no, it's education, we want to put it on, we want to upgrade our education, our university education to world class. If we to pick a university in each geopolitical zone at a time, ABU, University of Lagos or UI in Southwest, pick another one in Northeast and all of that, University of Port Harcourt and all of that, we will see it. But the Nigerian people are not seeing anything. They are saying they are building infrastructure. If you want to go for data now, we know how much money they spent on road construction. But these roads, Nigerian people will still pay tolls at the toll gates. So the question now is, what is the one thing that this government is subsidizing for the Nigerian people? What is the one thing that cut across everywhere that this government is doing for the Nigerian people? To me, as an individual, I've not seen any. Road construction, I will pay too. That means I'm paying indirectly. Education, you've answered off education, you've introduced student loan. That's you transferring the burden of funding education to the students. That is, you're telling the universities, go and raise money to cater for yourself. That's what it means. Be self-sufficient. And how do they want to be self-sufficient? The IGR and the fees that goes to the CSA. That's exactly how they will be self-sufficient. And you brought students loan. That's not an achievement to me. So what is exactly the one thing that this government is doing for the people? Now let's go to the basic, which is the security. What are they doing for the people? They're not even showing enough political will. We see people being quiet and unalive in one place, and we see the president sitting comfortably in a ceremony in Abuja. That is not enough political will. That's exactly what we are saying. If the president goes to that place, immediately cancel all his plans for the day, then it makes sense. We'll see that yes, these people are fighting, but we're not seeing anything. That's just what I want to say. I think my time is up, so I won't take more than the allocated time. Thank you.
Very much.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
1 minute. How many people have a question? Mr. Anthony and who?
I indicated to in my message. I do.
Okay. We should just take it one by one. The first one I heard was Mr. Anthony. 1 minute. Just ask your question. 1 minute.
All right. After Alpha Doom, you make a comparison of other countries that are subsidizing some sectors in their own country. Can you please explain to the people on this platform what is the economic size of those countries? What is their GDP? Can you please explain to the people? And I have 1 minute. And if you look at our budget, right? You look at what we budgeted for, and you look at the deficit between the revenue and the budget itself, right? You can see that the deficit is over 13 point something trillion naira. So if you're going for subsidy again in the PMS, that means averagely you'll be taking a loan of maybe $4 to $5 billion, right? So how do you balance this if you're not making enough revenue to cover your own budget and you're adding another thing to your budget? Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Alpha, 1 minute. Just answer.
Yes, thank you.
1 minute.
Okay, Mr. Anthony. While I was giving my submission, I just make a general statement that there are countries in the world that are subsidizing one thing or the other. I didn't really go deep into details, but I can tell you there are some countries that we are on the same level. That is, if we try to do comparison of our GDP, a country like Brazil, even a country like Egypt and all of that, though there might be some differences and all of that, but in terms of population, in terms of land mass, Nigeria and Brazil, we probably started on the same level and all of that. But I didn't actually get the real details. But if you want me to give you real details, that means I have to pick a country at a time and give you specific details about this country. I just made a general statement that countries are actually paying subsidies on one thing or the other. Egypt is paying subsidies on oil. Iran is doing the same thing. We have to now do the comparison of economic indices in Iran and Nigeria and all of that if we have to do that. But I'm just saying generally that countries are taking up a responsibility or the other for their citizens in terms of subsidy. That's just what I said. It's just a general statement. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, K-Star, your question, 1 minute.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Alpha. Okay, my question is just based on what you said. Now, my question is, although it's more or less like a rhetorical question. Did Tinubu consult the governors, the citizens, the opinion leaders before he removed subsidy and floated the naira? So if he didn't do that, why should we not be the ones? We are the ones at the receiving end of it, but we are still the ones to go and hold the people that he didn't consult and hold them accountable. But him that took the decision without doing the feasibility study to know the consequences and everything, how he's going to mitigate against it, he's not being held responsible. So that's my question, sir.
Okay, thank you, K-Star. Thank you so much, K-Star. What I have to say with respect to that is that I just see this go and hold your governors accountable, go to the local government and all of that as a deliberate attempt from this government to excuse itself from the responsibility that Nigerian people have given to him. That's just what I see. Because I will always say it anywhere, that the government is supposed to be driven by ideology. Even if we do not have an ideology that guides the country, at least a political party should have an ideology that guides it. So if you're telling us to go and hold some people accountable, the government in this country is still in the majority of all the government, from states to local government to national assembly and all of that, is still in the hands of the APC, the party of the president. So if you are telling us to hold some people accountable, then you are still saying we should hold your party accountable. Your party has failed. Apart from constitutional provision to hold these people accountable, that you might say you have some limitation, there is clear political alternative, political solution. The president can give orders to the political party that, yes, this is my party. We have to ensure that the party go ahead to do the right thing. We have to show enough political will in the interest of the Nigerian people. So on the basis of this, follow the manifesto of the party, follow the policy of the party and all of that. And the governor will use all the resources in the interest of the Nigerian people. So a failure on the part of the president constitutionally and politically cannot be transferred to the Nigerian people. That is just what I have to say with respect to that.
My question. Okay, sorry.
Hold on. Libra next, please. 1 minute.
Okay, my brother, the first question is this. Should education be free? Because you talked about that education, people get loans and this and that. Should education be free? The second thing is that how should the federal government ensure policy interventions get transferred to the people without the middle people, without the state and the local government that you said were not supposed to be the active agent that ensure people have access to these resources? Because you remove the governor and the chairman from in between the people and the federal. How should that be done? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Libra. Just your first question, when you ask if education can be free, I can tell you for a fact that if the government of this country utilize the resources of this country, the enormous resources in this country, education, free education from primary to university level is obtainable. And
why?
I'll tell you that from history, there was a time in this country where education was free. In the Western region, university education was extremely subsidized, that people get meal tickets. We know the history of Ali Must Go. We know how Babangida introduced the structural adjustment program and all of that they were withdrawing all of these services one after the other. And the last man standing was education being a little bit funded. That is, fees were 21,500 in higher institutions and all of that before this government completely hands off education the way they did to primary and secondary schools. The hands off, they were not funding it, thereby encouraging private institutions and all of that. The same way they have done to the university education. And they now substituted that funding of education, they substituted with loan. Loan is a liability, not funding for education. So I will now go to your second question that you said that how do we now bridge the gap between the local government and the state government? I think it still boils down to what I answered K-Star when I said that political parties are supposed to be driven by ideology, policy, and ideology and policy, basically, and principle with a clear court manifesto. That is, if I have a governor in Oyo State that is APC and there's another governor in Anambra that is APC, the people can really predict the style of leadership. The people can really predict how governance will go in those states based on the ideology and the principle of the party. But what we see in Nigeria is that all the parties, from PDP to all of them, APC and all of that, they lack ideology and principle. And that is why, despite the constitutional restriction that the president cannot go after the state's governors because they have immunity, the political alternative, the political solution to it, that is the president using his authority as the leader of the party to give instructions to the governors, was not done too, because the party lacks ideology. They just bring themselves together without any ideological backing. That is why they have failed in using the political alternative as a way to resolve all of these things. I think that's just what I have to say with respect to that. Even the last one that they got that has judicial backing, which is local government autonomy, Supreme Court judgment, the president has not enforced it. He has not enforced it. The Supreme Court has interpreted Section 162 of the Constitution that the fact that states and local governments have joint account does not mean that local government does not have rights to the funds released into that joint account. But what have we seen? The state are still directly in control. In most of the states, they are still directly in control of the funds of the local government. The president has not shown enough political will to resolve this. Why? Because he's trying to protect his personal interest, because there is election in the corner and he does not want to go directly against the governors. And that is him putting his personal interest above the interest of the Nigerian people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All questions have been answered. Okay, Ayomide, you said you have a question.
I do. I have a question. Yeah.
Okay. 1 minute.
Yeah. So, Mr. Alpha Doom. All right. Mr. Alpha Doom, the last time we spoke about this, you said Nigerians are going to be paying tolls for the 400 roads that are ongoing reconstruction now. But that word has no local standing, because you quoted that you heard that David Umahi, the Minister for Works, said that. And there is no part of the Nigerian Constitution that states that. Could you please defend that statement in accordance to the Constitution of Nigeria? That's number one. Question two, I have asked you this question severally. Do we separate when a person is contesting for election in this country, do you read to us the manifesto of the party or the manifesto of yourself going into that office? Those are the two questions, because the moment you separate the governors, you exonerate them, you exonerate the senators who are lawmakers. The moment you exonerate them, you would want to round it up into a political party. Yes, political party are the ones on the ballot, but is it after election that the political party would decide who would fill those vacant spaces? I want you to explain that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yomide. Your first question was about the tolls. Yes, there is no constitutional provision for toll gates on on our federal roads. But the same constitution also gave the power to the National Assembly that they can make laws. That is legislative right to the National Assembly. So I'm not aware if there's any legislative backing for those tolls, but I'm sure the Nigerian people and the audience listening know that the toll gate system is not a new thing in Nigeria. On Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, there are toll gates, federal government toll gates that have been abandoned. They are not using them again now. Even Lekki has a toll gate that was actively in use until the 2020 NSAS movement that puts an end to that. And the government has came out clearly on the new roads. I just want to give you clear indication. Clearly on the new roads in the agreements that we are funding 30% of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, and the 70% will be funded by the private company, and they are going to toll the road to retrieve their money for a certain number of years. I don't know exactly number of it. That proves that there's going to be toll gates on Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road. And the Minister of Works, Professor David Umahi, has come out openly to address the press. If you check on newspapers, you're going to see it, where he said that the federal government is going to reactivate the toll gate system of federal roads, meaning that all the abandoned toll gates on federal roads will be reactivated, and federal government will now start collecting tolls from Nigerians as they ply the
Sorry, Mr. Alfadu. Mr. Alfadu, sorry. I'm sorry. Before you continue, you said they are going to. It is not a certain statement. They are not. It is not. They didn't say. Wait now. He didn't
One
say
by one,
wait
one
now.
by one. I don't want it to be rowdy. Mr. Ayomide,
All
you
right.
have asked your question.
All
Let
right,
me
then.
answer the question. Please
Yes.
mute.
No.
Mute.
I just want us to have. I'm
No,
sorry, ma'am. I
mute.
just want us to
When
have
you
a very
finish, you will say
concise
whatever
information.
you want to say. Please mute. You are going to make it rowdy. Mute. Alpha, are you done with the answer?
No, I've not answered the second question. That is
answer. If you have anything
Yes.
to say again, then
Yes,
you come.
I've not answered the second question.
Nobody
So
to
towing,
interject, please. Thank
yes.
you.
So towing, just like I was saying, is not a new procedure. Even in advanced countries, there are toll gates. So it's not like it's something that is new. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? The Minister of Works has already said that they are going to reactivate it. When that will be done, we don't know. But at least clearly stated in the agreement of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway that there would be tolls. And immediately the road is activated and they start the full utilization of that road, there will be tolls at different locations on that road. I think that answers your question with respect to tolls and all of that. They have made mention that they are going to reactivate it, but how long it will take them to put it in place and for Nigeria to start paying tolls, that I don't know. I think it's left to the professor to determine that, and the Ministry of Work to determine that. And secondly, on your question about how do we excuse? Yeah, you asked something about the manifesto of the party and the manifesto of the individual. Yes, I've answered that before by saying that parties are supposed to be driven by ideology and principle. And anybody that is going to come out as a flag bearer of that party, the ideology of that person and the principle of that person must first align with the ideology and principle of the political party. Of course, the manifesto of the candidates is clear and different from, what do you call it, the manifesto of the party itself. But it is not different ideologically and in principle from the ideology and the principle of the political party. That is, a party that is socialist in nature cannot give a ticket to a person that is capitalist in nature, because there's a clear contradiction. So what I'm trying to say is that whether the candidate has a personal manifesto, that manifesto must align with the policies and the principle of the political party that gives the ticket to such candidates. And in Nigeria, we vote for political parties, we don't vote for individuals. And because the democracy in the country has been bastardized, yes, I'm rounding up. Because the democracy in the country has been bastardized, that's why you see them cross carpets from one party to another party. Constitutionally, once you cross carpets from a party to another party, you will lose your seat, because the party is what the people voted for. So that means we can hang anything on the party. So if the government is failing in the United Kingdom, we'll say it is the failure of the Labour Party in United Kingdom. If the government is failing in United States, we'll say it's the failure of the Democrat, of the Republican. If Trump wants to attack the opposition, they will say it's failure of the Democrats. That's what they say, because it is not individualism, it's about party. And that is why the failure of the people at the lower strata, the states and the local governments failing to use the resources released to them for the Nigerian people, is the failure of the APC government, which Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the leader of the party. Thank you so much.
Kestel, you came late. I think you are the one giving submission now.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank
you very much.
Your time, 5 minutes.
Thank you, host. Thank you, the moderator. Good day to everyone.
Please look at your time, and please let's continue to tap. Let's be tapping, and let's support the host. We are not tapping. That's not good enough now. Please, let's be tapping. Those that are not talking, let's be tapping. And those are the comment section. Please do good to tap while you listen. And we should try to support the host. Nothing is too small, even if it is roses. Thank you. Okay, your 5 minutes starts.
All right. So, well, I don't have much to say because we are just repeating everything every time. We all know the truth, right? It's in the times of the old, the truth was hidden from the people because of information. But now we're in information age. So now people, they hide from the truth now. So, and one thing that baffles me is that it's as if it's under Tinubu's regime that we just discovered that there are governors and there are local government chairmen, there are councillors, and there are other people to hold responsible, accountable. But during Goodluck Jonathan's regime and Buhari's regime, nobody was talking about that. I don't know whether the awareness just all of a sudden came upon us that we didn't hold Shetima responsible for the emergence of Boko Haram in Borno State. The same Shetima now is the VP of Tinubu that you are telling us not to hold accountable. So we didn't hold the governors of Jos responsible that time, or the governors of Benue. It was Goodluck we held responsible, right? We didn't hold the principal of and the chairman or the senator of Chibok responsible. It was Goodluck we held responsible for bring back our girls. So it's so funny when people come online and say that. And the next thing I want to say is that now, if you are saying that okay, we should not hold Tinubu responsible, the policies that are affecting the country now, who made those policies? Who did you consult? Now, those policies are okay on their own, but I've always used this analogy. It's the same thing like you're saying GUN is, you can't say GUN is good or bad. It depends on who is using it. If you put a GUN in the hands of a patriotic
bikyali mukulu deliver
Abasiramu muliwa. Alex ngazo nyigidde weerere tonsobola. Ekyo kimanyi sogera koma kunyiga. Nenga basiramu muliwa baganda bange tusomemuko ku ddiini ya Allah. Tuleme kudda mu nankane sinaba nakulwanako leero. Hayra babi, hayra habi, agambye hayra habi. Yeah. نسوك أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أهوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله يا الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها ويتجنبك الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. هجل وقنات وصولتي.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Wasiyoti Ramadan Kareem.
Bulungi osibota.
Bulungi. Kakati ngenda soka n'eddua. Yeah, eddua is very powerful. Okay, naye nga ko kali kampi but kayamba nnyo. Yakumayo eddua nga bbiri. Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تandikawo batyo حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل وروني endala اللهم يسر ولا تؤسر اللهم يسر ولا تؤسر اللهم يسر ولا تؤسر. Okay, kusomeyo kondala nange bwendaba ekyokuzaako. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi barakallahu fikum wa jazakumullahu khairan. Tugenda waliwo sura gye bayita suratul khalaq. Ikura bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq.
But right now when you see in a Quran ndi ku mulimu so ngenda gezaako.
Tugenda ngenda soma mu kkono n'abasomyo aya nga 5 mu sura yasookera ddala. No, I mean si esura yasooka okukka because ebintu ne byawukanamu. However, waliwo mu imam omu bamuyita imam imam ono owe Zimbabwe, si Zimbabwe no. Olwo imam ali awo mumutegeri yajja kole mu Uganda. Namukoleko ekikubo 223. Bamuyita imam ani?
Imam simumanyi.
Mufti Mek, ya. Mufti Mek yawandika Quran. Naye we yandika fanya afuna backlash. Yawandika Quran nga bwe yakka. Obo ntegedde nga sinzira ku tafsiri cause Quran iliko ebintu bibiri. Quran iliko tafsiri waayo iliko ne sababu nuzuru. Kati imam Mufti Mek yawandika Quran nga bwe yakka. Naye basanga tekyabasanyusira baanyiga. Naye teyakola si wakati Kurani eno nga bw'ogiraba eri mu nsengeka ndoze beta Uthman sibuguli ensenga basinzira ku Uthman okusinza ko yagatta kuba ko yawandiika naye nga bw'ekyo si bwe yakka naye nga byonna nga byakabiriwo ebiti naye twagala n'ensenka ya Uthman okusinzira ku masala gaaliwo n'obujulizi obwaliwo naye Meke teyakola bwe yagatta ilimu yonna gy'alina n'addamu n'awandiika Kurani has revealed nga bwe yakka bannanga abasiraamu banyiiga naye nga edduwa ayati yasooka okukka mu Kurani kyemanyi ogimanyi aya yasooka okukka mu Kurani okay aya yasooka okukka mu Kurani eri mu surati Iqra eri mu surati ya kusoma surati Iqra kitegeeza okusoma njoza sababu nuzuru ombaka yali yawuliddeko mu bantu beerawanga nabo nga yawuliddeko ng'agenzeeyo mu nsozi z'omu Mecca wa mu Madina forgotten after boss we yajja agenda basomesa ebisingawo so nga yawuliddeko okumala n'ennaku nnyingi nga asaba Allah mulage ekkubo kati malayika ya Allah gye yamusanga ne mwetera obubaka so aya yasooka okukka mu Kurani kyesimanyi naye nga kikakasa aliko basmara kyemanyi eriko basmara kozi ndoza mu Kurani onesu etaliko basmara mujimanyi so etaliko basmara yokka ndoza oba eriso Tauba yerikaliko basmara ombaka ali waputopu mumuleete waneeno Sheikh oyo wa Bilali so erimu yokka yes erimu yokka that's Tauba ndowooza mbanga seerabidde so mbaka malayika Jibril amusanga eyo nga yeeyawulidde era ndowooza essura gy'asooka okusoma ng'oggyeko bismillahirrahmanirrahim yamugamba nti Iqra namugamba nti soma nga omubaka tamanyi na kyakusoma kuba yali teyasoma era nga kiri evident nti yali teyasoma nga n'abantu bonna bakimanyi namugamba nti Iqra nga omubaka tamanyi ki kyakusoma kati nga sinabagenda naye kyesimanyi kimu sheikh aganye okujja nenjagala ajja kiŋŋambe ng'oggyeko simanyi essula namba kwolina teyakkalumu essula eno yakomawa omubaka yakomawo funa obupaka okusinza ku gundi okusinzira ku ilimu bwetambula kozegamba nti Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaqa al-insan min 'alaq Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram alladhi allama bil qalam kati simanyi kozina tasomesebwa namba naye nga yijukamu aya ze bagamba ezaddako essula yaddako okukka gisijjukira oba eri either mudaththir oba muzammil nendo zali mudaththir eri mu juzu tabaraka egamba nti ya ayyuhal mudaththir anzir wa rabbaka fakabbir kati simanyi awo yali olida ali mu kutya nga kira kyakijjukira nga kyalinamu okutya ayezenze muki mu ngoye kozi yatanyonnyo naye kyesimanyi ya mudaththir yaddako then muzamiru neddaho kati simanyi aya zineno zaalinga zikomawa kubanga ye Imamu Meke kye yakolanga huyo azasigala nakwongerayo
ogende maaso nange nkyawuliriza assalamu alaikum warahmatullah so ogende maaso tumalirize de nayi
so kati Mufti Meke kye yakola kye kino bwe yakwata mu tafsiri wa Qur'ani na yegatiddwa kozi tafsiri agatamu ne hadithi n'agatamu n'ebigambo by'abamanyi byegasiri bagamba nti mutafakkun alayhi na Qur'ani has revealed si Qur'ani original copy kozi kati original copy page tulina original copy eriwa Allah jalla jalal original copy eriwa Allah page tulina nsengeka ya Uthman mwamachi akimanyi kati Imamu Meke kye yakola yagamba nti yajja natuma mu tafsiri nti ombaka yali akola ki jara ko kino kati aya ne kawo nga akola kino kati bato bwe yazisengeka kabo ntegedde simanyi ko nesi gisomangako era sijina gikeberako era nteno gikeberako cause omanyi there's a thin line between obubuze no kuzuliriza oba ntegeera cause waliwo a very very thin line between that so kati kyesimanyi nga olaba nti surati Iqra wagamba nti bismillahirrahmanirrahim Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaqal insana min 'alaq njuka mu aya mu yokka eriko erekera tafsiri omulala eriko sababu nuzuru omulala ngagamba nti bwe yamugamba nti soma ngimunyize malayika nga tamanyi na bya kusoma nga tamanyi na bimani era yabuza Jibril nsome kinza tamanyi kusoma so kati kyesimanyi era shekogera kitununula ayi yonga ya ikura yakomawa obanga ayi ndala neziddamu nezikka kwa kyemmanyi teyakka yonna namba nga ssuula era semayo mukwale mulimu essuula yakka yonna nga namba kyekyo. So okuzuula kubeera andi kati obuzibu buli kikino okuzuula eba bidia mu ddiini si baguli era bamanyi tuyagamba nti okula bid'ati fi dhalala wa kula dhalalatin fi nnaari tulime kwesemera kuzuuliriza nejjukira mu lumi ebintu byava mu busiraamu nga twabijja ku mubaka Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam byo byakka mu busiraamu era ffenna ne tugamba ntukkirizigana nabyo era nabo bamanyi bakola babitafakkuna abamanyi abasinga obungi bingi omuli Qur'ani yennyini empeerezi zaazo ombaka teyazirekaawo kubanga abawarabu tebaweerera okuweerera kwajja luvannyuma kye mukimanyi naye kulw'okuba nti kozi yali nnungi ndoza kyalekebwawo kubona ombaka ndoza teyakimanya nako nti banaagiweerera kozi bagenda ogiweera ng'ombaka yafadda sometimes emyaka ndoza nga giijo okuliko Abauthman Abubakari mujja kunzijukiza. So kati okuzuuliriza kungi kuze mu ddiini nga kwogasa kyesimanyi bameka ekyakoze kigasa kozi ekyo yakola kyekyo n'agamba nti kati ombaka yaddayo ng'atidde nali yeebaka aba kyebase nga yeebise mu bikunta nga nali muno omusujja aya nekka bismillahirrahmanirrahim ya ayyuhal mudaththir kum fa anzir wa rabbaka fakabbir wa thiyabaka fatahhir warrujza fahjir wala tamnun tastakthir wa li rabbika fasbir. So simanyi Sheikh nkwade mic ogene mu maaso oba kyeyakoze kikyamu oba kituufu simanyi. Sheikh bane Sheikh akoze atya? Sheikh teweewamba
nkyatereera nti onkwatiriza ntuuka butuusi waka kasooke mmala okusetolinga nnyingire bulungi tukwajje.
Kale nga bwajja tugajja tusoma mu kusuula erimu aya yasokera ddala okuka simanyi oba aya ey'okubiri nayo yali ey'okubiri okuka kuba kisobokera ddala ng'essuula erimu aya yasooka okukka ng'ate aya ey'okubirimu yennyini essuula si y'essuula eyasooka. Kale ngenda bawo ekyokulabirako bwe tubikula Qur'ani eyo abatanda bakitegeera abasemba kimanyi bulungi Qur'ani eyo tugitandikeyo ku Surat al-Fatiha. Mu buto bwange nali mmanyi nti Qur'ani bwe yalekka yakka batandika ku al-Fatiha ti bismillahirrahmanirrahim alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin nga mmanyi bwe yakka nedda kujuza alif lam mim netutandika alif lam mim nezo zimu kusuula ezitakkirawo to the extent ndi mu Surat Maida eriwa subhanallah kan Surat Maida Surat Imran na ngenda bikula nte Maida gituuka kwennyini. Anyway nti mu Surat Maida essula ey'okusatu ba mu juzu essula ey'okusatu mu Qur'ani ate ngeri mu juzu nga yakusna no si Imran eri after Imran aya ey'okusatu mu juzu mu ssula ey'okusatu mu Qur'ani ate ye aya yasembereyo ddala mu Qur'ani oba yemu kuzadiriza zasembereyo ddala mu Qur'ani omutegera bulungi. You have mute ndi mu mute walwa nkubidde ndi mu mute banaye Roma nangamye nti ndi mu mute okumusalamu rahmatullah. Okay, so ekisinga kunowesa nti kati tugambe nti esula egamba etya wegamba nti Allah weyagamba nti al-yawma akmaltum alaykum ni'ma nti olunaku olwaleero mbajuliza ekyengera gye muli wa raditu lakum islaama diina na aya yonna nga bwegenda mpaka eri bwe yatugaanira omwenge kubanga omwenge twali tukukkirizibwa okugunywa naye twajja Allah yajja guziyiza mpola mpola mpaka mweyo aya bwe yaguziyiza waddam walmaisir wasihir biki aya nga bwetambula. So kyewuunyisa ndi mu aya ey'okusatu mu ssuula ey'okusatu mu aya ey'okusatu mu muli aya esembayo kati ate mu ssuula muli ssuula eyasookera ddala esobanga ne ssuula aya ey'okubiri nga tesi yeyaddako oba ntegerekese. So kati meke kye yatukolera ekyo n'atuwa tafsiri yenna nga bwetambula wa Qur'ani okusinza ku kumanya kwe yakuŋŋaanya n'akola Qur'ani has it revealed nga bwe yakka ne mu kaseera Qur'ani bwe yatuuka nga tekyakka mukajjukira akaseera nga ombaka tebukyakka wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam nga takyafuna bubaka okumala omwezi nga guma bajali emyezi ng'esatu nafuka essekerera mu Mekka ego Muhammad weta mbaka wa Allah kati nga takyakukisiza Qur'ani nga takyasobaka biki ombaka n'anakuwala n'akaaba paka Allah yassa surati anajimanya sura eyo Allah gye yassa njagenda wasema bwe muri mu comment section Allah yassa sura ki Allah yasasula ki sema bagisa namba mu conversation mulimu abasiraamu abantu bali kugenda buza
Kabulaza
shushi
Honorable
wanyi muganda wange
yebale ko oli otya
ndi bulungi sebo sorry though
mu bulamu bweyagala
bulungi muganda wange mpozi gwe
nange ndi bulungi nkusanze wano mpulira sura mpulira bid'a mpulira kisina tegera kikigena mu maaso gwolutuka ku live nkwatirawo obugere
ne sheikh
sebo tompita seka nze nkyali muyizi ndi muyizi sebo
sebo nedda
sebo
bakulemera mpozi yagamba ati abakulemera mwe yabayina abasinga kukumanya yabayina bakulembera
opimirawa abasinga
ndi mukaka kubona bali kono live tokulya kusinga kumanya
nedda sebo gwobipimira kuki fe batuwa buwidde oboozi naye sebo abasajja abali awo abatanafuna bufunyi platform
bebanyi omuntu alina elimu bwayogera mumanya nti ono alina elimu
ate sigirina ninako katono ako kensomyeko kengabana
andi yayiri mbasoma nsobe yagamba nti ainawe yagambira nti eneyo nensi enkolimiro okujjako yagamba nti ila al-alim wa mutaallim okujjako abamanyi n'abanonya okumanya
kati ffe tulimu abo abanoonya okumanya
ananonya okumanya era abamanyi kati omuntu wa bbiri ate so amutaya ku bantu bewaffe eno ku St. Peters bikyanje tusomedde
era ne mu bbirali mulimu abazannyanga kati nga ffe twazannyanga nnyo
ne shekhe
twazannyanga nnyo
gwe wathanawi
obulamu bugamba ki muganda wange anzisa okubuuza ebibuuzo gwomanyi ekyo ekintu ekizibu ky'okubuuza ebibuuzo
sebo oliko eyo level okutubako kumanya okutono okwoyina
kyenaaba manyi njakyogera kyenaaba simanyi njaga ekyo sikiinaako kumanya onkutte sinaba nakumaliriza kunaaba sebo nakayingira enju ngamba nkuleetere ringiraiti empya tugikusindikire ringiraiti ezinakutta amaaso ofana kizooki wansuuliddeko ka message nenkuddamu naye tonnakolaki
andi sina esimu yange yayonooneka kati mba n'okuddayo wa kampuni laptop nkebere message wasindise andi ogiraba kati bweri
sebo weetereze noonya beta source akuteekemu akasimu akapya
agenda bikola
otherwise mulamu akisebo leero
muli nebuuza number 1 ekintu omusiraamu kyakola mufti make kituufu kikirizibwa mu busiraamu kubanga yaddamu n'awandika Kurani nga bwe yakka
nti yaddamu n'agiwandiika
okimanyi
mbadde sikimanyi but nze sikirabamu buzibu wabanga takyusizza bintu byayo
alina aya gye yakyusa naye yagikyuse kati tosuubira ogisoma osange wano alifatiha alifatiha oyinza ogisanga ye mujuzu nga ya 27
naye ebyo byonna omubaka yabitugamba nga tubeerawo nti waliwo hadithi gye yagamba innahu ma yaishu minkum baidi fasayara ikhtilafan kathira nti katonda gwanaaba wangazizza mummwe mugenda kulaba enjawukana nnyingi mu bamanyi naye yagamba fa alaikum bisunnati mbalaamira okwekwata ku sunna zange wa sunnati lkhulafai rashidina n'abakola ki n'abaatukulembera almahadiyina min baadi hadithi nga gyekoma okitegeera so kati nze kiri kyensanzeewo wabanga alina bye yakyusakyusa n'akyusa bino ebyo omubaka yabitugamba nti bigenda kubeerawo bingi enjawukana zigenda kubeerawo nnyingi ono akole kino n'alaba kino alaba kino naye kati nze yakyusa ensengeka ya Quran right netiwaaka ya Honorable ebadde etya bane mwe Honorable mumufuna oba nze kanze nina ebizibu
olina ekinayigeriyaawo
waliwo ali ku ssimu
Nigeria sebo
no ali ku ssimu alina byalaba Network ya honorable
Yeah,
ekitegeeza network si yange.
no, si network yo kubanga oli clear. Just
Eh,
network. Yeah.
nga tukoze bubi leero okubeera nga badde atuwadde katuuti akategeera abamu ku ddiini yaffe.
No,
Olaba ali kutwewole oba simanyi kika oba simanyi mbu tugabane kati gwagabana naye eddata. Honorable lwaki temumuteekako? Mumuteekeko bannange. Honorable lwakubeera wanino naye honorable yeetaaga okuteekako ku nsonga ya data. Tuswadde kati.
Ajja muteekako inshallah.
Honorable mumuteekeko muleme kumuwaana buwaanyi. Honorable yeetaaga okuteekako.
Omalamu amaanyi.
Sina amaanyi ge mumazeemu ngambye bugambi mumuteekeko.
Inshallah. Ajja muteekako
abakiriza.
Bashamu agambye tuswadde ebyaddala. Sebo tubadde tetukuwulira. Alabika bw'atuwanikako nga Honorable ebula. Ayongeddeko ow'okusatu. Ajja kiwulira. Live erabika etuzize ffe. Kansoke ndi freshingemu essimu yange ndabe.
Okusatu yejjeko.
Zadaman chaka network yo si nungi ejoli. Taka kuva ejoli. Bano bakuba meza mutoyina data kyokka data oyina naye joli network yenfu.
But if we want to talk reality, let us talk reality. Now, you talk about politics. Yesterday, the ADC from South came out to say they are supporting Amechi. It is not the duty of Tinubu to call the ADC and say, no, the people want Obi, deliver him. No, Tinubu cannot do that. He has no right. And now there are people who have joined a party, they want to hijack that party and do whatever. If it doesn't work for you, you turn back and start blaming opposition, the ruling party. Me, I am this type of person who support opposition. But when opposition leave what they should be doing and they are talking about granite, as yesterday somebody is telling Nigerians that the border they open has killed farmers. That the reducing the price of foodstuff has destroyed farmers. How do you play this kind of opposition? The other man told Nigerians that if somebody transfer 120 million in your account, if somebody transfer 100 million into your account, 25 million is gone. These are the type of oppositions we have now. This one is saying this. Let them unite and fight as opposition. No be Tinubu go do them for them. If I'm playing with you, my duty is to destroy your plans. I cannot do my own and do your own for you. Tinubu cannot work for you to win him. If you cannot stand this bullying or whatever you call it now, when you become the president of Nigeria, and I saw they're going to pursue you, you're going to run like rats.
Tinubu was in opposition. He stood his ground against the almighty Obasanjo. We did not see him start crying like a rat. Play the game. Do what oppositions do. Every time you come out, you are crying. They don't want me to be on the ballot. Now, who pursue you come out from ABGA? Who pursue you come out from PDP? Who pursue you come out from Labour? You must learn how to play politics. If these whole Nigerians are as corrupt as you have painted, or go and form a new political party, register only angels. Call it angels, heavenly angels political party. Stop mixing with... Let me ask all of you, sir, if this man who is Holy now becomes the president of Nigeria, is he going to rule with all this corrupt judiciary, all these corrupt senators, or is he bringing a new brand set of angels to work with him? Do you know that as good as he was impeached 2 times as a governor? What if that happens on the presidency? And this is a man who depends solely on the advice of a madman to achieve great things. Are you saying now that if this man becomes president tomorrow, he will import this madman from Anambra to Abuja? Or is he going to now use professional advisors? These are questions to ask. If you want to join politics, play politics like Nigerians. We are Nigerians. Whenever you come up, you say, if there is no if in politics. If you go to America, you play the American politics. Donald Trump, as influential as he was, used and worked with Elon Musk. Look for who to work with you. The rich, they are the ones to sponsor your programs. And then again, stop imposing yourself on the poor. Stop using their money because you have your own $15 million in Panama. Go and bring it home. Thank you.
Mama, I have a question for him.
I have a question.
Okay, who first of all said I have a question now?
You did on the comment section.
No, okay, it's case time. All right, case time, ask your question.
Let him go first.
Okay, Creative, you can ask your question, 1 minute.
Okay,
Thank you for
so
the gifts.
That's fine. Yeah, Mr. Chris, I think since you've been speaking, I have not seen you probably mention the governor or probably your state governor, your House of Rep or senator to hold them responsible. Do you think this is a tactical move or probably it's keep your mind? Number one. Number two question is, when it comes to the economy, I want you to give me a statistic figure. Do you think Tinubu is improving the economy? If yes, can you compare it then when he took over and now that he's in government? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Chris, 1 minute. Please, can we all just say thank you to Mr. Anthony? He supported the house. When people support, we should appreciate them. So, Mr. Anthony, thank you for supporting the house.
Creative,
Anthony,
thank you. And every other person who has been supporting, thank you.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just answer your question, Mr. Chris.
Creative, when you say I skip my governor, what do I mean by charity beginning from home? I am a fan of taking governance to the grassroots. I say that every blessed day. As a child, I saw my local government operate. They were having grader, caterpillars. People can go there to rent. They grade our villages during festival season. I want that kind of system. The governor of Imo State is Hope Uzodinma. I am not his fan, but with what he is doing at the moment, I am pleased with him. He even told us how many billions he has invested in projects without borrowing a dime. I use him always, and I use Eastern states in most of my statement. I am not one of those who talk Plateau and Benue without referring to my state. Thank you. Number two question, you talk about economy. If you are not comfortable with the Okonji Wallace, the World Bank, the IMF, I don't know what you want me to say. I am not in that field of giving you wrong statistics and whatever. But people who work in that field have spoken to Nigerians. So if you are not comfortable with that, sir, I not fit by myself now.
You've answered the question. Case style. Are you ready for the question now?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, quickly. So let me correct your impression, bro. Aragbeshola worked first tenure when
That's your
he
question.
was.
Don't correct impression. No.
Yeah,
That's your
I know.
question.
I will ask. I just wanted to correct that impression. When he came in as a governor and then he refused to listen to Tinubu, but second tenure, he started listening to Tinubu, imported, Mr. Anthony is here, is from Osun State, imported some people from Lagos, and that's when he had that problem of owing salary. But first tenure was superb. He did amazing projects, the Osun River Bridge, dualization road. But my question is just one. My question is, forget about the project going on in each state. The one that federal government is doing, the 400 you guys have been talking about, the coastal road. Mention 3 of them that is complete. At least for the past 3 years now, they've been doing it. 1 of them should have been completed. Mention 3 of them that is completed. Or if there's none that is complete, which one is going to be complete before 2027 or in the first year of his second tenure if he comes in as the president? Thank you.
Well, there are things that are there in the public domain, and I always tell people, governance is not about doing one covert, maybe doing half kilometer and then celebrate. If a government comes to power, every other country of this world, they will tell you this project will take us 10 years. This one will take us 6 years. That is why they say governance is a continuum. If you go to Lagos today, you will find Ambode doing the works Fashola left. You will find someone doing what Ambode. This is not their project, it's a state project. So the most important thing is anywhere they start. I saw people driving on Coastal Road. I don't know if AI pictures. I saw people going there to make videos. I see people who stop by to take videos of roads, the thickness, the level of work. I don't come here to tell you this happened. These are practical things. Politics is social. It is about interaction. Things you see, things you touch, things you feel, roads you use. When they said there was no second River Niger bridge, it was all propaganda. All of a sudden there was and there is. People are using them today. So if you know there is no one completed, agree with us that something has been in place. Somebody has started something. And they are not relenting. They are working on it. They will continue working on them. Somebody mentioned the toll gate. It is a worldwide thing. When you do roads, you cannot maintain them. What do? Tow them. The towing companies take over the management. That is why that is how the roads will last. We cannot live. There is no free country in this world. There is no free city. Even Freetown is not free. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Creative. Please, if you have any submission, you can unmute and give us your submission.
Okay, yeah, I do.
All
So,
right. 5 minutes. You've been timed.
okay, thank you so much. Yeah, number one, I think I'll be going through the economy and also governance. I'll leave politics for now. I only touch politics at the end of the day. So the first thing is we are looking at the economy, and one of the indices of a working economy is you have investors coming into your country, and number two, you have the employment rate going having a steady growth. Then number three, you have your local production in a positive move. Then number four, you have even your GDP growing. And when we want to look at the GDP growth rate of the country right now, I think majorly they are working based on projection, but the actual this morning it was released to be like 3.88 from the service industry, from the oil sector as well, though they gave high rates to the servicing sector. Now, that being said, if you look at previous government, because sometimes when these guys come here to praise this 3.8%, 3.2%. They make it look like it's something that is so unique. But let me just take you down the memory lanes. In 1999, we're having 0.56 economic growth rates. In 2000, we have 5.6. In 2001, we have 5.9. In 2002, we have 50.3% economic growth rate. In 2003, we have 7.4. In 2004, we have 9.3. I can go on and on. Even under Jonathan, we're having 8.9, 7.8 economic percent growth rate, meaning that a government we had a bad one, which is under Buhari, when we are having negative 1.6, negative 1.2, 2.1 before, meaning that under APC, our economy got destroyed. Now, if you want to measure the impact of your economic growth on your citizen, then you have to look at the poverty rate. You also have to look at probably the purchasing power. You have to look at the standard of living of the people. Are they having an improvement, and can they also do their business within the country? Looking at the economic effect on their own business. Can they have what is available? Can they afford it? Because there's difference between availability and affordability. You might have sufficient fuel, but the people might not have the money to buy it. Now, when you look at the second one, which is governance, I want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about policies for now. I will leave that for my next speech or submission. Now, let me talk about this local government stuff. Now, the function of the judiciary is to interpret the law. And when you go to court, you are telling the court, this is a provision of the law as stated, as promulgated by the NACS, and I want you to interpret this section for me. And when Tinubu took the governors to court, he went for interpretation of the section of the Constitution. We have section 7 that talks about the creation of local government, their functionality, how elections are going to be put into it, and the administration. And part of this was what Tinubu took to court to ask the court for the autonomy of that tiers of government. And he got it clean and clear in 2024. To date, Tinubu is lacking that political will to implement that law. That judgment. The judgment given by Supreme Court is not even a law that needs to be revised. It's a judgment based on existing law, which is well interpreted. But why is Tinubu delaying it? Is because of his ambition. He knows the governors are rightly against it. And the Supreme Court was very, very expressly concise when he gave that judgment. He said, going forward, the local government autonomy should be implemented, number one. Number two, their funds should be given directly into the local government fund. And if the president wants to obey that Supreme Court judgment, all he just need to do is to tell the Attorney General of the Federation to pay directly, Accountant General of the Federation to the Minister of Finance to pay directly into the local government account, and tell them any state that is not having a functional local government account based on the Supreme Court judgment, their fund is going to be withheld. If you want to say, is that illegal? Yes, it is legal, because it has a judgment from the highest court of the land, Supreme Court, that is backing it. When people talk about the case that was happening in Rivers State about Fubara, they cite the Supreme Court judgment, meaning that Supreme Court judgment is final. Now, when you look at if there is need for a revision of that judgment, in the case of Peter Obi versus Tinubu, when they went to court and they were trying to play the video of the INEC chairman that was talking about real-time transmission of results, Supreme Court was very express in it. He said you can't take the statement of the INEC chairman, though he's an umpire, and you can't take it wholeheartedly because it is not in the law. So the Supreme Court told them to go back to the National Assembly to go and amend that electoral act and make it expressly stated that e-free time should be mandatory or should be optional. And that was what we had in this last electoral amendment. So if Supreme Court wants a revision of any of our law, they will expressly state it in their judgment. But for the local government, it's stated that going forward, funds should be paid directly into the account of the local government. And by now, we would have been having a functional local government autonomy that will start holding the local government
Please
accountable.
begin to round up. You're taking so
next
much
30 seconds,
time. Yeah.
And then we should be having a functional local government by now. We should also be having, we should holding them responsible. And lastly, if you look at the devolution of power when it comes to state police, still the president is still holding it down. And we have a commissioner of police in state that reports to the IGP to the president. So we can hold the governor accountable until we have a state police and we have a functional local government autonomy. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the submission. Mr. Chris, your question. After that, Mr. Anthony.
Okay, my number one question is
1 minute.
when Jerry Lawrence came to be the president of Ghana, what was the economic situation in the country in the first 2-3 years?
Yeah, hello. Hold on, please. Mr. Chris, hold on first, please. Mr. Mega, sir.
Yes,
Mega.
I'm here.
This guy, that was not there for yesterday. That soldier guy. Was it there for yesterday?
Yes, I think it was on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
That day for yesterday. Because he will just call me just now. He said, I will not call you. You don't say that man say he will send message to you that day.
Say, he will not send anything, no. That man, whether in Canada, right?
Yeah, when in Canada.
Yes, I didn't hear from him. Oh.
Okay. Because the guy just message me, if I don't even respond, as I just say, like, if you say as we did group call that day, now he just message me, call me for phone.
Yeah.
Now tell us, me, no, say I will ask you whether you hear for the.
No. He never do anything.
All right. Thank you very much. At least Anthony was here that day anyway. I know that man that day, so
yeah.
The first time the guy go promise for any social media, I know him very well, so I just don't want to say anything.
I wait till I want to talk. He just use and run come out. I beg you make una do wait till I want to forget that guy.
Wow.
You know he said it that if you want to send, don't wait for him.
We don't even send the guy that money that day, but the guy, you know, say I see he can't talk, and the guy to come post all that money go come give him.
Sorry,
so he can't message me yesterday. I don't even respond. So today, message we just the night just call me, and I pick. Now that's I make you so I will call him back. Say make I even ask Mega because I don't even remember again.
Me, the way they talk, I know say no go send and where he say don't worry, I will do this. People where they talk like that, they know they do.
Whether a business account with this.
Now people where they need good governance be that too. In their individual life, now only God.
Let me tell the guy say I know you for Ramo. Before you come say they don't go give social media block when they give back.
Yeah, but that thing is bad. You know you can't do something. You are saying it to public consumption. Later, people will feel that these people have gotten it. If we don't come about it now, it's not right.
You are just bragging.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Now what?
Sorry, I don't call you back before. Yeah, I don't ask. I see.
Mr. Chris, were you the one talking?
You know you're for Africa. Anytime you hear for
please, sorry. You can just complete your question.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
it's all right.
I think I say me now baby women now.
Okay. Why here come?
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay, I was asking, what was the situation in Ghana in the first 2-3 years of Jerry Rawlings? Number two, with the indices you read out about Jonathan's government, how come governors were owing up to 31 months under that very good administration? Number three, with all the good economy Nigeria had under Jonathan, how do you balance it with oil boom? And if you were to be an advisor to that government that experienced these oil booms during their What will you do differently from that PDP government? Finally, the man you are supporting now, what is his position on local government autonomy? Thank you. Using his time as a governor as a case study.
Yeah,
Thank you.
number one, I'm not a Ghanaian, so I don't know about Ghana economy. I'm not a Ghanaian. Number two, I don't know your question for number two. Just tell me. Just give me a hint. I don't know.